Eu puxar. E na
Springbok women's rugby has been riding high this week, and can they end this week off with a smile on their face? My name is David Midgley. Alongside me for this broadcast of the first test between South African women and the Spanish women is Otto Simon. Good afternoon, Otto.
How are you doing, Coach Dave?
Yeah, strong. Thank you. And yourself?
Very well, and very excited to bring you this first South African women's broadcast on One World Sports Radio. Thank you very much for joining us. We had a bit of confusion about the start time, but here we are. We see the ladies singing the national anthems, and we'll go through the squads if we can quickly.
Yeah, riding on a high, because remember, South African women picked up a new sponsor in the form of one of the 5 major banks in South Africa. They also beat Japan in their last encounter, so they'll be hoping for more of the same success. If you'd like, you can run through the South Africans. I'll run through the Spanish.
Thank you very much, Coach Dave. Starting with the forwards, Asitandile Ntoyanto playing her 11th test today. At hooker, Lindelwa Gwala. Tight end, Babalwa Lacha. Number 4, Nolusundiso Boy. And number 5, Katha Jacobs with Sizopila Solonsi at 6, Rights Mkari at 7, and the 8th player, Aseza Hele. With the backs, we have Unam Tose at 9, Libby Janse van Rensburg at 10, Simon Kele Namba at 11, Chimisu Kawe and Zintle Mpupwa in the midfield, 12 and 13, right wing Ayanda Malinga, and the fullback Nadine Ruiz. Quite an inexperienced team, and let's take you through the Spanish women.
Yeah, it's a fairly young side for the ladies, known as the Leonas. Marta Esteles, Cristina Blanco, and Laura Delgado are your front three for today's game. Ana Puig and Monica Costello are your lock pairings. Carmen Rodera and Maria Calvo are your flanks for today's game. Lourdes Almeida packing in at number 8. The backs for you are Lucia Diaz at number 9. Really fantastic rugby player that she is. Ines Buezo Incausti is your fly half for today. On the left and right wing are Clara Piquero and Marta Carmona. In midfield, it's Lia Ducher and Alba Vuenuesa, and Cristina Lopez is the fullback for today's game. We apologize if our pronunciation of the Spanish ladies aren't on top form. Nevertheless, it's an opportunity for referee Clara Munarini to really stamp her authority in this game. She's got 2 assistants as well as a television match official. Things underway now as the Springboks are playing right to left, Spain left to right, and a kickoff that wouldn't look pretty, but effective for the ladies in green and gold. Cleared away now by Libby Janse van Rensburg. Doesn't find touch, and now there's an opportunity for Spain to get on the front foot with Cristina Lopez. She's brought down just inside her own half around the 10-meter line. Good ruck work there by the Springboks to prevent any go-forward momentum. Rodera for Spain now in midfield. She's not able to actually create something, is Diaz. She now goes to the blind side. Ball going through their hands towards the far side of the park. Remember that the Spanish women are playing left to right. South Africa not able to hang on to any tacklers as they make their way up to halfway line. Spanish women now just held up short of halfway. Diaz once again to Nkausti, working hard here. The halfback pairings for the Spanish women. Just the second minute and it's still pointless on the board. Looks like there may be a penalty advantage here coming for them, but that's not to be the case. Referee keeping her arm at her side. South Africa having to defend early on here. There's no real break yet in play. The first 90 seconds of this game. South Africa working hard in the ruck and they've turned the ball over. Great bit of work from the ladies in green and gold. Now they can see where their options are left and right on the park. Tose looking for her number 10 but not finding it, rather going with Nolosundiso Boy. Tuso again. This is a wonderful bit of work here by the Springboks. Able to break through a couple of tackles. It's a bit of rough work there, and that means through that subsequent knock-on right in the middle of the field that South Africa will get a penalty. An enterprising first 90 seconds there. It was rather offside from Alba Vinuesa, and now Libby Janssen van Rensburg will look to kick for touch.
And she does just that. The ball crosses the near side touchline just inside the Spanish 22. 0-0 still the score, and a crashing run there across the halfway line by the number 12, Chumisa Kawe for South Africa. Great looking run there, and with support from her forward back, she gets the penalty.
Right, line out opportunity here for the Springboks. It's messy. They were a lot more productive with lineouts, but thankfully they've managed to recover it. Great bit of work there for Asezahele to get some forward momentum. There's passing going out wide. There's an opportunity for the Springboks. They get over the 22. Crashing over the 22 goes Malinga. She's now got support in the ruck and they immediately clean out. Good bit of work from the support in Nolosundisa Boy and Lacha. Now there's an option to the near side. Smashed in tackles is Asezahele. Now, can the South Africans find a space? Another great run there by Kawe. She's held up short about 15 meters. Again, Libby Janssen van Rensburg gets the ball, but looks like the Springboks are guilty of not clearing out correctly. And the referee blows a whistle and says, let's all reset some things, please.
Yeah, penalty to Spain right in front of their posts. Good reprieve there for them as they managed to hang on to Kawe there, who almost broke the line on a couple of occasions now in this game, and pumping the legs with Spanish players hanging off. And South Africa have managed to get the ball from the line-out. So that's a line-out steal for South Africa.
Wonderful bit of work. Much better there from the Springboks. Now they have the opportunity to find the whitewash. Lacha right on the 22-meter line in the middle of the field. Libby Janssen van Rensburg with the cross kick. Is she going to find somebody on the outside? She doesn't, and it bounces one bounce into touch. It'll be a Spanish throw.
Almost a kick out on the full there by Janssen van Rensburg, but the Springbok women piling on the pressure. The line out is formed about 15-20 meters from the Spanish try line, and the hooker for Spain, Cristina Blanco, puts the ball into the line out.
Good collection there by Calvo. Now there's an opportunity to get out of their own 22. They've been hammered by the Springboks for a number of minutes, been putting pressure on the Leonas. Now, middle of the field, or rather far side of the park, left to right, and there's going to be a clearance kick now by Ines Muezo in Kausti as this one goes out near the halfway line, far side of the park. It's been a frustrating period for the Springboks, not able to really convert into anything of meaning, but certainly putting pressure on the ladies from Spain. The last 3 times, or the only 3 times these two teams have encountered each other, the first one being in 2014 at that World Cup in Paris. Now this year, South Africa will be one of the 12 teams going to Rugby World Cup. Turnover ball as South Africa or rather, it's not a turnover ball. It's a Spanish ball that they've managed to recover, and it'll be a penalty for not releasing. They quick tap and go here by the Spanish. They get over halfway. There's a bit of lackluster tackling from the Springboks as Calvo gets all the way over towards the 10-meter line of her opposition's half. Again, breaking through. The tackle's not sticking here for the Springboks, and it's something they'll want to clarify as they go on. Diaz with a dummy run, but it's a knock-on by the flanker, Carmen Rodera. It was a great bit of work. She just threw the dummy and offloaded to Rodera, who couldn't keep her hands on the ball. It was not a great pass, but it was just some combination tackling that got Rodera dispossessed there.
6 minutes gone, still 0-0 the score in this first test between South Africa and Spain. I hope they get to play at least one more, and it's great to see the ladies opening up proceedings at Emirates Airline Park in Johannesburg today. It's a very fine semi-spring day, late winter's day. Sun is out, not a cloud in the sky, at least where I'm sitting here, and it will be a punishing second half for the ladies from Spain as the altitude and the heat starts to kick in.
Certainly, it's not a temperature they would have perhaps expected, but they have been training this week out in Potchefstroom. Out of the back comes the number 8, Azesa Hele. She's brought down, and it'll be a penalty advantage for the Springboks. Tose looking for some options to Libby Janssen van Rensburg, who thumps this upfield, and it's not going to go into touch, but caught at the 10-meter line, but it will be indeed a South African penalty, so they'll all have to turn around and return to the lady with the whistle in her hand.
It looked like some tackle infringement there by Spain, and the guilty party, if she just turns her body a little bit, number 6, yes, number 6, Carmen Rodera, with an illegal tackle, it looked like there.
Illegal binding macro.
Illegal binding, in the scrum, of course. So that's a technical error there from the Spanish flanker, and from the middle of the park, just inside the 10-meter line of the Springboks women, Libby Janssen van Rensburg sends this one out to the near side touchline, about 5 meters into the Spanish half.
Yeah, it was. You can see she's not even connected there in that scrum there, and so something that it's a basic error that she'll want to just squeeze out. Great throw now by the Springboks as they get through the hands. Tose looking to Van Rensburg. Van Rensburg finding Kawe. Kawe's had a great game so far. It's just the start. Boy, oh boy, is she not afraid to bounce off a Spanish tackler. Now with the ball is Zintle Mpumpa. She breaks through 5 or 6 tackles, passes to her number 14, Ayanda Malinga, and is able to gain a significant amount of meterage. What an incredible bit of work there. Van Rensburg lining up. She's calling for the ball now, but it's not going to come to her as Babalwa Lacha is able to get momentum. There goes Van Rensburg. What a tackle on Nadine Ruth, but she's able to hand it off, but it eventually, as it goes through the hands towards the near side of the park, Kawe throws it into touch. Chumisa Kawe, she's just everywhere, isn't she, Otto?
Yes, and absolutely dominant are the number 12 and 13 for South Africa. Just unable to hang on to the tackles when those two ladies have the ball, are the Spanish women. So I'd like to see a lot more of Twabe and Pupa with the ball in hand attacking that midfield. Absolutely. The lineup is just outside the 22.
Rodera takes it. She gives it to Diaz for the Spanish. Now they're inside their own 22. Good clean out by the Leonas as they seek some way forward. Brought down in the middle of the park is Captain Laura Delgado. Thumped high into the middle of the park by Inkausti. There's Nadine Roos with some cleanup at the back. She is not the one who picks it up. It's Malinga, who's now got some forward momentum to get her going. Rather not Malinga, Number, who's trying to dance her way out of a Spanish tackle, but is chucked into touch. 10 minutes gone, nigh on it, and it's still scoreless at Emirates Airline Park. Simam Kele, number 11.
So the Spanish, with the line out 5 meters inside the Springboks half, as Number was piled into touch there, just bundled into touch, I should say. There's a little bit of a break in play as somebody ties his shoelaces, and we're ready to continue. with Cristina Blanco having to put the ball into the line out for Spain. Good throw, taken down to Diaz, out to Inchausti. And it's a break through the middle by the number 13 for Spain. She's almost up to the 22 before she's tackled by Riss. She gets the offload to her support players on the inside, about 20 meters from the far side touchline. Goes to that far side, and it's a nice backline move here with some forwards in there in the left wing now for Spain. Gets tackled just inside on the far side of the field. They well into the Springboks 22 now. The ball is retrieved by the Springbok women, but there's a penalty against South Africa, probably for what looks like a high tackle. We'll just check that for you now. Coming up, tackler not releasing is the call there, and coming up to 11 minutes gone, it's 0 apiece in Johannesburg, and Spain on the attack with the number 12, Leah Ducher, just bunting the ball over the far side touchline, and Spain will have another line out in a very attacking position on the 5-meter line of the Springboks ladies. That was an excellent run by Alba Vinuesa. And Springbok ladies get the ball back. It's a barging run up to the 22, still going over the 22, and still going up to the 10-meter line almost are the Springbok ladies. And it is Torse out to Van Rensburg into that midfield pairing. They've got an overlap here on the near side. Step inside and tackled by the 15 is Mpupa, who's now over the 10-meter line of Spain. Torse to Libby van Rensburg on the near side. It's about 12 meters in from the near side touchline. Van Rensburg under pressure there from Spain, but she manages to play the ball back for Torse, who finds her forwards. They're up to the 10-meter line of Spain, just about in the middle of the park. Torse to the far side. And let's see what the Springbok ladies can do here with the number 3 trying to barge her way through, but nothing doing there. Mpupa out to the back line on the far side, and it's in the hands of the right wing, who outflanks the Spanish defenders, and she's going to run in and dot the ball down 10 meters in from the far side touchline. What a try by South Africa. Just relentless pressure on attack, and the Spanish ladies looking a bit worried, bringing down the South African players. It is Ayanda Malinga, the right wing for South Africa, with the first try of the match. 12 and a half minutes gone. 5-0 to the Springboks.
It was an incredible piece of play there, because for a moment the Spanish were all over the Springboks after that line out. But my, oh my, Zintle Mpupa smashing her way upfield, partnering with that Kawe that Otto was speaking so wonderfully about, and then it was all too easy for Ayanda Malinga to just dance her way around the number 15 Cristina Lopez and dot it down. South Africa lead 5 points to 0. Don't forget that the men will be playing this evening. It's the second test of Rugby Championship 2022. South Africa will play New Zealand. 5:05 is kickoff. We're going to be live a little bit before then. And please join us for that. If you want to be a part of that commentary, let us know. Tweet at OneWorldSR if you want to join us as Libby Janssen van Rensburg slots this through. South Africa go up 2 more points. It's 7-0. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to all the social media platforms. We are there and we want to hear from you. But a stellar performance here by the Springbok ladies to get going. They've never won or two against the Spanish. Like I said, their first encounter coming in 2014, in which they lost 36-0. The last time these two sides met was in 2019 in Dispatch for a test match that's in the Eastern Cape for a 29-12 victory to the Spanish. But it is early doors here as kickoff resumes once again.
And the kickoff is regathered by Spain inside the 10-meter line of South Africa. A bad mistake there by the South African ladies. A lapse in concentration gives Spain the ball in the middle of the park. They're over the 10-meter line again with the backline move. And the number 12 is brought down just to the near side of halfway in the middle of the park. And there's a penalty against South Africa, against the number 7. That is Raitz Mkari. Not sure, but that's a dangerous tackle. And Spain once again on the attack with Bueso and Inchausti, the number 10, sending the ball through the Johannesburg sky and over the near side touchline inside the 22 of South Africa. You see a replay there, starting with the contact above the above the neck, above the shoulders rather. So penalised for that is Tawe. And South Africa managed to ring-gather the ball through the line-out down to the ground. They go 50 metres in from the near side touchline. The ball goes to the far side of the park where Mpupa kicks the ball downfield. The ball lands behind the Spanish players as there's a nice kick chase here from South Africa. Ruiz 15 on 15 holds up her opposite number with some help from it looks like Ayanda there, Ayanda Malunga there, the right wing, and South Africa have the ball on the far side of the field inside the Spanish half, up to the 22-meter line of Spain almost. Torse to Van Rensburg sends it down to the number 2 for South Africa, who barges her way forward. Some support there. Torse breaks around the side of the ruck to the near side and almost makes it to the 22. Good support coming in there for South Africa. There's no scrum half. She's down on the ground. Libianse van Rensburg now acting as the scrum half, and she gets it out to Kawe, the number 12, who gets tackled just outside the 22 of Spain. And South Africa are penalised for holding on. Spain with a quick tap. Number 7 running to the to the Spanish 10-meter line in the middle of the park. The ruck is set there for Spain, but they concede a penalty immediately for holding on. A bit isolated was the number 7, I think, for Spain, Maria Calvo. We'll see just a confirmation there. Number 7, Calvo, almost making it to the halfway line, but after taking the quick tap, but the penalty is right back in South Africa's favour. 17 minutes gone almost. Libianse van Rensburg kicks this penalty out about 5 or 6 meters inside the Spanish 22 on the near side of the field. We see a replay there. Calvo getting tackled by van Rensburg, almost getting the fend on, but the Spanish support just too slow to arrive, and they concede the penalty.
Incredible.
South Africa 7 and Spain 0. I almost forgot. Yeah. I need to update the score.
Spanish players, like you said, a little bit late there. Solonsi is going to make her way off the park, presumably for a head injury assessment, but Makua is now making her way. Lerato Makua getting her 4th cap as the 18th minute goes underway. South Africa now with the ball driving towards the try line. Possession with the Springboks. It's in the hands of Lindelwa Gwala. And the South Africans are now being penalised for some issue in the maul there. Now, that's surprisingly, when you've had possession.
Yeah, some technical infringement there in the maul by South Africa. I think the referee was indicating a pulling motion. So somebody pulled somebody that wasn't supposed to. The camera is focusing on the South African number 2, Lindelwa Gwala. And we see a replay here of the knock-on and the collision that caused the injury to South Africa's number 4, Nolu Sindiso Boy.
Captain.
She's the captain as well.
Your most experienced player and your captain going off early inside the encounter. Lerato Makua, only 4 games, so it's a massive shift in terms of experience by the ladies, but it's forced nevertheless, and looks like there's a bit of a delay in play here. Referees perhaps just looking at something upstairs. They haven't really indicated to us why the game has come to a halt, but yes, in the meantime, as you are joining us for this broadcast, please go to www.patreon.com/OneWorldSR. We love doing this, but we can't do it without your help. That's OneWorldSR on patreon.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to @OneWorldSR. That's the number 1, WORLDSR. You can find Otto at Ozmaster, myself at Coach Dave93, and there are a number of options for you in terms of broadcasts that you can watch. There's Date Night Drip. There is the Fantasy League podcast. There is Cheap Seats. There is the Full Quota. And we are there for every single moment of it. We'll be back with you this evening after this encounter for the men, as Ria Weideman says, "Hi, guys. Thanks for the commentary. Appreciate it." Thank you, Ria. And thank you for joining us. If you want to, like Ria, have your comment read out, go to our YouTube channel and comment there. Or Facebook if you so prefer.
So we seem to have play back underway almost. The ladies are ready to go. Time is still off. 10 seconds to go, up to 18 minutes. 7 to South Africa, 0 to Spain. Spain putting the ball outside their 22 on the near side of the park. Some pressure as the ball goes back down the back line of Spain, and a clearing kick that rolls into touch now, but there is an offside penalty to South Africa against Spain, 20 meters in from the far side touchline, about 5 meters outside the Spanish 22. So the backline offside there after the line out, I would assume. Not sure why the penalty is given there, but Libby Janse van Rensburg says she's going to go and get 3 more points for South Africa if she can. So we'll see here where it's players in front of the ball. So that's where the penalty is given, where the kick was taken, with the players moving forward in front of the kicker for Spain. As they tried the dummy round the back, the ball going round the back of the players moving forward. And when the kick was made, they didn't retreat. They kept moving forward. So with almost 19 minutes gone, Libby Janse van Rensburg sets up this penalty kick. The ball is has fallen off the tee. She corrects that quickly, steps back, and it's almost in front of the posts, about 6 meters outside the Spanish 22. And she will come forward now, strikes it with the right foot, and the ball sails neatly through the middle of the famous uprights in Johannesburg. 10 points to South Africa, 0 points to Spain so far, but the Spanish looking dangerous at times. And coming up on 20 minutes, Coach Dave will take us through the next 10 as Spain kick off from left to right once again. Hopefully the Springbok ladies will be able to receive a little bit better.
Ines, a little bit of free space there as Lacha collected and was able to get from the 22 or just in front of the 22 to the 10-meter line. Tose now going through the back of the ruck, throwing it out wide. South Africa through Kawe and Mpupa making some traction. Pick and go there from Tose. She's got support from Libby Janse van Rensburg. Nadine Roos at the back. She throws it now, looking for an option to the far side of the park where Katha Jacobs gets her first touch of the ball. Tose now going into the pocket for her fly half, who finds Janse van Rensburg, who punts it straight out. And now the small error there has cost her team yards, because if there was just, and she's frustrated with herself, a little bit of less heat on that meant she would have gotten a great amount of territory gain there. But nevertheless, ball's gone out on the full, and they'll go back just behind the 10-meter line. Spain with the throw through Blanco.
Visibly upset with herself there was Libby Janse van Rensburg.
Turnover ball by the Springboks. There was a knock on there. Katha Jacobs now with a second touch of the game. She's gone from nothing to everything. Penalty advantage for the Springboks. Janse van Rensburg to Kawe, who absolutely bashes her way through that Spanish line. She keeps going over halfway. My, oh my, can she carry the ball? Great bit of work by Tose to get there quickly. Nearly a turnover ball. It's knocked backward by Roos, who's absolutely crunched for the second time in the game. But now the ball is on the far side of the park in the hands of Malinga, who's brought down. Tose looking for an option perhaps through a box kick. She does do so now. Roos is going to try and chase that down with Rensburg, who collected and knocks it back. Roos has the ball. She's got one person to beat, and she does. She crosses the whitewash. She's going to dot it under the post, and South Africa will have their second try of the first half. Yes, go Booker, go.
I almost thought that was a knock-on from Van Rensburg, but the referee happy with that so far. But that kick from Tose being expertly collected by Roos in the end. Libby Janse van Rensburg maybe didn't get a hand to it, but the ball going backwards from her hands as she tried to collect, and then Roos picking up the pieces and running around to the posts. Close to the posts, not quite underneath, but Libby Janse van Rensburg should be able to convert that. 15 points to 0 for the Springbok ladies.
Boy, oh boy, are these ladies running riot here at this game, Otto. It is a blowout for a side that hasn't won against the Spanish. My goodness me, are they dominating the game here. And we thought towards the back end of the game is where the Spanish would have suffered. But I think there's just going to be a TMO decision here. The television match official for this game. Just checking about that knock backwards by Libby Janse van Rensburg. The man behind the TV today is Ian Tempest, assisting the ladies on the park. So to me, it looks like it's back. She may be facing forward, but the momentum carries her forward and the ball gets knocked back.
Ooh, that's going to be a tight call. Then the referee says that was a knock-on. So Nadine Ruiz denied a test match try there, and they'll come back for the scrum just on the Spanish 22 on the far side of the field, about 12 meters in from the far side of the park. And it will be a put into Spain, a defensive scrum. 10-0 to South Africa.
It could have been her fourth try for the green and gold. Nevertheless, scrum time now. South Africa with a pack that is significantly better suited to scrum time. Certainly been in the gym working hard, have the ladies from the green and gold. And it's showing immediately, my word, the Springboks are hammering. Immediately off the back goes the number 8, Lourdes Almeida. And she's crashed over, and South Africa look like they've managed to find some turnover ball. Tose marshalling her forwards to hammer that one as they pick and go from the back. There's going to be another one here. Jacobs trying to get some forward momentum, but immediately shoved back and stolen by number 6 for the Spanish ladies. And wow, oh wow, is Carmen Rodera having a good game. She has ripped that ball out of the hands of Kathy Jacobs. Now, forwards trying to barge their way out of this lead box that they seem to find themselves in. Do the Spanish woman kicked away by the number 12, Leah Duche, or Duche probably, and that goes into touch. So Spain getting out of jail there, Otto, because that could so desperately have been another try for the Springboks.
Yeah, daylight robbery there by the Spanish ladies on South Africa, and it's a bit of a ding-dong battle here. Neither team really managing to keep possession for long amounts of time as we see the line out.
Tose now finds Van Rensburg, who looks for Kawe in the midfield. Kawe's got some support from Mpumpa. Tose again cutting inside. She's immediately got support by the Springboks. My oh my, these Springbok ladies not afraid to get stuck in there as Mpumpa drags herself towards the near side of the park. Van Rensburg with what seemed like a blatant forward pass, and it was indeed. I thought, goodness me, if the ref misses that, then we've got to ask that big question. Time off, and she may as well have thrown that as a quarterback.
Yeah, that was the worst place on the field. She was standing right on the halfway line and she passed that. So easy decision there for the referees. And we see an injury break here for Spain. Player is down on the 10-meter line of Spain. Hope she's okay. Medical personnel in attendance. She is awake and moving her hand and her head. So seems to be not too badly injured. Let's see if we can pick up who that is for Spain, but seeing some replays here of Kawe just barging through tackles at will, it seems, and Mpumpa, the number 13 for South Africa, doing almost the same amount of work in terms of breaking tackles. Geez, just keep the ball in these two ladies' hands, Coach Dave, and we'll get some more tries.
Absolutely. I mean, the amount of territory that's been gained by Mpumpa and Kawe is invaluable, and the Springboks will know about that. The question is, how long can they keep it up? Because normally when you have a center that is looking in that mold that's not what you perhaps would expect in terms of a center, you've got to ask how long can they maintain this intensity. Nevertheless, the Spanish will have a feed to the scrum on the halfway line. Territory 62%, 38 for the Spanish, and now the call of bind and set goes immediately. The Springbok women after the feed are absolutely smashing the Spanish women. Have they gone through 90? Surely they've gone through 90. Nevertheless, she is swarmed at the back there. Number 8, Almeida, as she was did the Springbok women just swamp her like that, and immediately the penalty comes. Tose now with some opportunity to get some forward momentum. The Springbok woman, oh wow, a massive tackle there on Hele to be smashed into touch. She thought she had some space and some momentum there, but goodness me, the number 15, Christina Lopez, smashing the number 8 into touch there. What a hammer. Wow. Bang. It's rather not Tuse, Lopez. It was
Leah Ducher.
Bang.
What a tackle by the inside centre for Spain.
Right. Throw now. Good tip back from the Spanish. Inside their own 22. Rush defense from the Springboks. They're learning perhaps the tricks of the trade from their counterparts. Ducher now punts this upfield to safe hands there. Nadine Roos, and the referee's blown the whistle. Perhaps some offside again?
Yeah, offside by the Spanish women. The penalty is once again right in the middle of the park, just inside the 22, and Libby Janssen van Rensburg will go for poles. So let's see, once again, it was the Spanish women in front of the kicker running forward, and they should wait for the kicker to place them onside or retreat, but they definitely cannot move forward if somebody kicks the ball there. From behind your position on the field, from your own team, you have to stop moving forward and wait to be placed back onside. So 2 technical penalties against the Spanish women so far in that exact same vein, that exact same transgression, rather, I should say.
Incredible.
10 points to 0.
From the Springboks, 3 minutes left before the half an hour mark. Libby Janssen van Rensburg, she's not going to miss this. She's in front of the poles, and she'll step up now to take the kick. She does. It's over the middle. The flags are raised, and the Springboks have their extra 3 points. 13-0 with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half hour of this game. Arthur Simon, what has your assessment been as we head towards the final 10 minutes of the first half?
Yeah, the breakdown's a bit of a problem for both sides. Neither side really being able to hang on to possession when the players are isolated, and placing their players in isolation. The support needs to be quicker from both sides, but the South African ladies seem to have eliminated that from their game as we see the kickoff.
Yeah, immediately a handling error there. There's a hand up from Babalo Lacha as there's a knock on there, and so now the Springbok women will pack down. It was Nolusundiso Boy, it looks like. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Lerato Makua who had come on in place of Nolusundiso Boy, and so she's just putting up her hand to say Mea Maxima Copa. From now, handling errors, 5 apiece from each side. Feed coming to the Spanish. They've got some forward momentum here. Can they break through a tackle? They can indeed, and the ball gets offloaded nicely to number 7, Maria Calvo, looking for some space in the middle of the park. No problems there from Munarini, the referee. There was a knock on there from Duchenne. South Africa have the ball. Tose now with a bit of space, looking for Kawe, and it's a knock on once again. So first knock on by the Spanish, and then the South Africans between Kawe and Mpupa. They were trying to get some space with some support from Simamkele number on the outside, but Simamkele number not able to hang on there.
Yes, the number 11 got the skip pass out wide, but the ball was already on the ground before it reached her, and she couldn't manage to gather that neatly. And there's a penalty now to Spain, probably for illegal scrummaging or maybe some other kind of technical fault there at the scrum time. So Spain will have the line out in between the 22 and the try line. It's tackling the player without the ball, definitely there. As the referee picked that up, and Spain have to put into the line-out. They set them all. They're about 10 meters from the South African try line, coming up to 5 meters now. Good maul defense now by the South Africans, and the maul is changing direction, but it's just stopped on the 5 meter line at the moment, and the penalty goes to South Africa for obstruction. So a mistake in the maul there. The player with the ball getting disconnected from the players in front, and those players continue to engage, and that causes the obstruction penalty in the maul there. Libby Janssen van der Rensburg on her own 5-meter line, about 16 meters inside from the near side touchline, and she sends this out over the near side touchline about 5 meters outside the Springbok 22 for a Springbok line out. Good maul defense there. It looked like Spain was getting some momentum, but stopped by South Africa.
Yeah, it was Castello there, number 5, swimming around the outside. And Monarini, the Italian referee, saying, hold on, behave. No.
Yeah, it can't be done that way. Looks like we're having another replacement here for South Africa. Ayanda Malinga, it looks like on the right wing, is coming off. And we'll see if she had some kind of injury maybe. We just see we see a replay of a try. Yeah, she scored that opening try for South Africa in the 13th minute. Did Ayanda Malinga, playing in her 8th test. We see some more replays here. Maybe that was HIA that was called on Malinga there, because she looked fine, and doubt whether she would be replaced for any other reason. She looked good playing the match so far.
Yeah, certainly not from your number 14. Possibly, perhaps, one of the forwards here and there, but that's not the case. Although she's still on the park for now. Maybe they're just focusing on her, showing how fantastically she has been playing.
Well, there is some kind of break in play here for some reason, which I'm not sure, but we'll give the info as soon as we can.
Spanish lady. Don't forget that you can always take the opportunity to like this video, ding the bell so that you know when we're going live. Remember, men are playing this evening. To follow up the ladies, can they follow up? That's going to be the question. They won last week in Mbombela by 16 points. Can they do it again here at Ellis Park?
So we see a comment coming through on YouTube. Ziadi Lazaridi says 13-7 for halftime. Go! So a Spanish fan joining us there. Thank you very much for listening and watching wherever you are in the world. Let us know who you support. So there's a score prediction for you at halftime, 13-7. And it's a restart in play here. Penalty to the Springboks. And Libby Janssen van der Rensburg will kick the ball over the near side touchline. And it looks like about halfway in between the 10-meter line and the halfway. We see a replay here as the Spanish ladies trying to let go of the maul there, trying to get the obstruction penalty, but the referee picking up some other infringement. So South Africa with a put in on the halfway line. The referee called it the maul set by the Springbok ladies. They march over the halfway line, and it looks like the player in possession has been tackled there at the back. But the referee happy with that play as Spain regained the ball inside their half with their number 2 running across the field into the middle of the park. The ball pops out at the back over the 10-meter line. They go backwards, but the right wing picks it up, and there's a call for a knock-on by the referee. Spanish knock-on first, and a scrum will be set for South Africa just inside the 10-meter line of Spain. Very messy there behind the ruck for Spain.
Yeah, excuse me. It was an intelligent bit of play there from the Springboks to get that maul going. Poor bit of decision-making for that turnover ball, but the Spanish not messing around here in terms of trying to get the turnover ball there. So great work by them. It's come now near the center of the park towards the far side. Springboks are playing right to left. Spain.
I'm not sure the way that maul was stopped was exactly legal, but maybe the referee thinking that the ball carrier had disconnected from the maul and was therefore entitled to be tackled or available to be tackled, as Torres puts the ball into the Springbok scrum. Very steady scrum this time by Spain. Back goes to Libby Janssen van Rensburg, and through the middle comes Carway crashing again, but she loses the ball in contact, and it's picked up by Inchausti for Spain. They have the ball just outside their 22, going to the far side now from Diaz. Diaz at the back once again, coming to the near side of the field. Ball in the hands of Spanish attacking players, piling into the ruck there, but South Africa managed to steal the ball. And it looks like Torse is going in there. The Lucet Pop picking up and going forward, stepping over Spanish ladies as she marches forward towards the 22 in the middle of the park. Possession in the hands of Tose at the back of the ball, into the hands of the captain, number 3. Babawa Lacha is South Africa's number 3. And the ball out to Kawe, who breaks the line once again, just a fullback to beat, but she gets tackled 10 meters or so from the far side touchline inside the 22 of Spain. The ball goes out the back from Ruiz, playing scrum off, and this time Lacha is marching forward for South Africa, the tight head prop. Libby Janssen van Rensburg gets the ball now. She dummies around, the back goes to Kawe, who marches forward, and Pulpok goes marching forward, and she's 6 meters out in the middle of the park, almost the interceptor as the ball comes to the west side of the field, but it's picked up, fumbled by Spain and picked up by number 11, Tom Taylor, number for another to South Africa, 18 points to 0 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Wow!
Great bit of work there. A poach there by the Springboks. Simam Kele number. So 1 each for the Wings this afternoon, and coaches won't be unhappy when the backs are scoring. But again, it's Kawe and Mpupa together, banishing any defenders from Spain. It was a good bit of work there from Van Rensburg. A failed attempt by the Spanish to try and maybe turn things over there. But goodness me, 18 points to 0. 5 minutes left in this game. And to Simon, that score prediction not looking like it's going to be the one that they were hoping for.
No, not at all. Libby Janssen van Rensburg has a 100% kicking record in the game so far. She's going to try and add the extra 2 here. The ball is just to the left of the left-hand upright. So perfect position for the right-footed kicker. And she eyes the ball, looks up at the posts, strides forward now, strikes the ball with the right foot, and it sails neatly in between the uprights, low over the crossbar, 20 points to 0 with 4 minutes to play in the first half.
Well, welcome as well to everybody who's been joining us. Dylan Lenoir, Ziviari Laziaridi.
Lots of Spanish chatter, which we don't understand.
For the time. So
okay. 4 minutes to go.
French as well. Ben Roussel, bonjour, buenos dias. Hoe gaan het? Lelo, George, box, hashtag box, yes. Sanbaran Tumelang Absheni, hello. This one is returned high into the sky. And we get underway once again.
The Springboks take the ball to the far side of the field, 5 meters from the far side touchline. The ball goes back now to Libby Janssen van Rensburg, who fakes to the inside but goes down the blind side with the box kick, and it's fumbled by Spain on their own 10-meter line. It'll be a scrum to South Africa on the 10-meter line of Spain, about 5 meters in from the far side touchline. Good work there by Van Rensburg, but by Janssen van Rensburg, I should say. But a bad fumble there from Spain. And this is another great field position here for the South African ladies. And as this first half has marched on, they've been looking a little bit more dominant with each passing minute. Spain need to find an answer here. They need something to give them some semblance of hope before the second half starts, as Tose puts the ball into the scrum. Steady scrum once again by both teams. Spain getting a little bit of forward momentum there as the ball goes out to Libby Janssen van Rensburg, who passed behind the back to Ruiz, who can't make it through. Tose is there to Janssen van Rensburg in the middle of the park. She breaks through to the 10-meter line. She's tackled but not held, gets up and goes another 2 meters as Tose gets the ball out to the loose head prop for South Africa, who barges forward into the 10-meter area, but it's taken by Spain, and they march right back over their own 10-meter line in the middle of the park. And now it's Diaz there in attendance, out to Inchausti, out to the number 13, who goes to the number 6 in the back line on the far side of the field, taken down on the 10-meter line of Spain. The Spanish ladies coming to the inside of the field. Springboks rushing forward and swarming all over Spain. It's held up in the tackle. It looks like the referee has signaled a maul there, and no release, says the referee. So there was a knee on the ground, no release by the Springbok ladies, and it's the number 5, Gaffer Jacobs, who is penalized. in Charles with the kick, the relieving penalty kick, and the line out will be set on the far side of the field in between the Springbok 22 and 10-meter line. Can Spain get something done here, David?
Yeah, Coach Morocco is going to be asking that very question, to Simon, because with 15 penalties conceded in this first half, 8 from the Spanish, 7 from the South Africans. The difference is that the South Africans have not allowed the Spanish to make it count. It's going to be a difficult halftime conversation, particularly with the Spanish having missed 14 tackles as opposed to the Springboks 1.
Spain get the line out done, and skew, says the referee. Cristina Blanco not looking very impressed, but that ball, yes indeed, went in onto the left shoulder of the jumper in the Spanish lineout, so that is well skewed by the Spanish number 2, and the scrum will be set on the 15-meter line just outside the Springbok 22. Another small injury delay here for Spain as number 15 hobbles off, Cristina Lopez. And I saw that Monica Costello, also being replaced. I think it was Carmen Castellucci who came on in her stead. And now we'll see who replaces Cristina Lopez, who seems to have injured her leg or her ankle. And it's Ruiz, confirmed now. As Torse is ready with the put in for South Africa. Much better scrumming by the Spanish in the last few scrums. But Torse has the ball at the back. Goes into the hands of Twabe, who barges through the first tackle. Almost barges through the second, gets the ball back. Libby Janssen van der Rensburg with the ball down the line to the near side of the park. Rus into the back line. She's over the halfway line into the hands of Mpupos, almost up to the 10-meter line of Spain now on the near side of the field. And the Springbok ladies will pick the ball up as the hooter goes and kick it over the near side touchline. 20 points to 0 for the Springbok ladies over Spain. Wow.
Dominant performance from the Springbok ladies here. Like you said at the start, Otto, the Spanish women having to deal with a very warm, late winter's day, combined with the altitude. It's something that they wouldn't have too much experience of playing at this type of environment, the cauldron that is the Ellis Park Stadium. But some comments that we can quickly read out. Africa Wonders saying, go South Africa, and go indeed for them. Anoni's asking 4 tries. Well, it was an absolutely incredible first half from the Springbok women. Got underway in the 13th minute with a try, but wow, oh wow, have they been good. We will be back very shortly after the halftime break. Don't go anywhere. You're going to see a Springbok women victory.
Ooh, you called it early there, Dave. 40 minutes to go still, but while we take a halftime break, we're going to play you one of my favorite podcast episodes of ever. It's the Date Night Drip Premier League Edition 22-23 kit review. It's a bit of football in between the rugby here, but we'll be back with the second half. South Africa 20, Spain 0.
Hello, and welcome to a new episode of The Cheap Seats. The season is drawing near. We've got 2 weeks to go. Next week, we've got a preview show. But before the preview show, we gather everybody. We've got Tyler, we've got Yusuf here to discuss the kits your teams are going to be wearing as the season starts. We call the show the Date Night Drip Show. So welcome, everybody. And yeah, let's have a good time. We're going to go through a lot of the kits. But most importantly, remember, this show is partnered with a Classic Shirts ZA. Please do go to their Instagram page, Classic Shirts ZA, or their website for Classic Shirts ZA, .co.za. All the kits we have are showcasing today will be on their website. You can get it from them. Really awesome delivery service. And we've got Yusuf, who is from Classic Shirt today, to kind of give us a flavor of whenever he sees kits come out, what does he think? And also, if you can wear it on date night, you can see he's wearing a kit we're going to be showcasing later on. And my date night is happening later on tonight. I'm wearing the Bafana kit with Banyana African champion. So well done to them. Outside of that, let's get going. But let's start with Tala. Tala, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Good. I'm happy to be at the Cheap Seats Fashion podcast for another year running. I think this is the best tradition on your podcast at the moment.
Yes, it is.
That doesn't say much for our views, though, Salah.
I think you should pivot into fashion.
You guys are better
So when the third kids come out,
that would pretty much be what Arsenal and United have done, pivoting into fashion.
I mean, we're going to talk about that. But Yusuf, tell us a little bit more about Classic Shirt today and how you're doing.
Yeah, no, we reached 2,000 orders today, so it's a milestone for us in less than a year.
Guys, I'm only responsible for like half of that.
Yours doesn't even count because yours doesn't go through the system. So actually, it's like 2,500. Let's be honest. But yeah, 200,000 on the website. So a big day for us. And as you can see, the United shirt. It's just a teaser. This is my favorite one for the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yes, but obviously. Yes, Yusuf?
No, I was just going to say, nice shirt, Dean. Nice shirt, people.
No,
Salah,
thanks,
we have
Yusuf.
to get you yours soon.
So, remember, with Classic Shirts, you can go to their website. This is the discount code CheapSeats99. You can get any of the shirts that are on there and put this discount code in. It just lets Yusuf know that we sent you. So we've probably been, of those 2,500, we've been responsible for 1.5. So just keep on on putting it through. But gents, it's an important start to the season. You got to look good. You know, as Tala was saying, teams are pivoting to fashion clubs. Teams are not pivoting. And so we're going to rate all the teams as to whether you can wear their kits out on a date. It is South Africa. You wear sports kits on date. So that's going to be the rating scale, 1 to 10, or 0 to 10, depending on how you feel. We're going to go down the order, and we've got some notables and things to discuss. But let's start with the champions, Manchester City. They're looking to still keep on being champions. They are effectively deciding that, nope, the fashion kit era is not for them. With a really interesting blue Puma kit that's got nothing on it. But they've gone for a red away kit to kind of tease Wahid on this. I'm going to start with Wahid. What do you make of this red kit? And what numbers do you give Manchester City?
Just confirming that Manchester is red.
Oh, don't try and make this a Man United thing.
Okay.
But I don't love the City kits. To be perfectly honest, I think that blue one's a bit weird. I don't think they've hit the mark there. The red one's a bit better, red and black, but I don't love them. I'm gonna give that City home one like a 4, and the away one like a 4.5. I don't love these
Tala, what do you make of the City kids? Are they going to remain being champions this season?
You know, Man City's actually had a very good run with their kits the past few years. They've had like really nice sort of like alternative type of kits. The home one, I don't know if you guys remember the third kit that they had, that Puma that just had Manchester City on the middle of their chest. And that home one reminds me a lot of that. It's so plain. Like the collars are interesting, but because it's just so plain and just, you know, you just have this big Etihad logo on it, it just looks really, really bad. So I'll give that just above a passing mark because of the collars. So that's 5.5. I actually sneakily like this away one. I don't know if it's date night worthy though. I think it's what you put it in the reserve on your bench for like a date out in like the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens or something like that, like a fourth date type of vibe. I think it's a strong 6 out of 10.
Okay, you have to get through the first 3 dates, then find out she likes you. Then, so when you pull it out, she's like, "Oh,
that is a half price. That is a half price sperm Monday night."
Yusuf, what do you make of these kids? What rating do you give them?
Can you let Dean go first? I'm going to get it in my head and then I'm going to explain my rating. 1 second.
Okay, Dean, what's your rating of these kids?
For me, like the City home one, I do quite enjoy the badge in the middle vibe that they've gone for, but the maroon trim is the thing that throws me. Like, even on the players, it even makes Haaland look less scary with that combination on it. Okay. So like, I don't rate that home one as high at all. I think it would have looked better if they just stuck like white on the sides. It would have been even more plain. So wouldn't have been a spectacle. But yeah, as is probably like 3-4 out of 10. And then I'm with Tala, like the red and black does have a little bit of like a Tiger Woods vibe. You can wear it on a Sunday, you know. Get those golf vibes going, but the yellow as well, it's not great. So I mean, City are going to be up there with the football that they play. They're just not going to be up there with the kits that they wear. So
okay, so I'm giving the red one a 6.5, and the blue one a 5.5 as Tyler would. But Yusuf, what do you say? What's your rating there?
Okay, so the gents don't like the blue one, but I really like it. When you hold Puma call the ultra weave material, it's got like a nice diamond print on it. The edges, they feel really, really good. It's like a rubbery feel. It feels like it's worth the money.
How does it feel like that City badge compared to
the
badge?
I don't know about the collars. They feel a bit cheap, but they're stretchy, so I guess if your head is big and it holds through nicely. What I really like about this season's Puma shirts is this
The logo.
their logo.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Welcome back to this broadcast of One World Sports Radio, bringing you women's rugby. We are the sole radio rugby broadcaster for all of South African rugby. We are the sole cricket radio broadcaster. We are there for you every single moment. Thank you to his team, Mpo Mutlane, and the rest of them. You can find the rest of that episode, the end of it, on our YouTube channel. Go to One World Sports Radio on YouTube. Give it a thumbs up and bring us your love, because we want you to be a part of the family. Sam K. Mike, who was previously known, a.k.a. African Wonder, saying, go Springboks. So good to have you with us. Jean-Marie Henning saying, good to Spain playing the game as a football-mad country. Absolutely. And if we have a look at the women's rugby rankings, the world rugby rankings, Spain are ahead of South Africa at number 10, the traditional sides that you would expect to be in the top 10. You would say at number 5 for the ladies, South African women at 13th. So they're well behind the Spanish women. Russia, Kazakhstan, the Netherlands, Samoa, Hong Kong, Sweden, and Germany inside the top 10, which is, like you have mentioned there, Jean-Marie, something as an anomaly, but all power to everybody who is playing this game. A bit of a synopsis of where we are after halftime. Tweet at OneWorldSR or comment on YouTube and Facebook, as have the wonderful fans that have joined us for this game. The ladies from home, South African Springboks, 20-0 up. A new sponsor this week in the form of one of the top 5 banks. Libby Janssen van Rensburg will get us underway for this second half. She kicks it high and in the middle of the park to number 12 from the Spanish, who immediately punts it out on the full. Leah Ducher, or Ducher, perhaps Ducher is the person who we're looking for. So 20 points without loss, as cricketing parlance has come forward. South Africa now with a throw-in, a line-out in the hands of Lindelwa Gwala, just over the 10-meter line. Great take by Lerato, the number 19, Makua, who absolutely gets a breakthrough here. She does the hard work there, held up about 6 or 7 meters from the try line. South Africa immediately coming out the banks, out the gates quickly. Babalwa Lacha now hammers on towards that 5-meter line, brought down about exactly 5 meters from the try line. Work here now for Ntoyanto to try and see if she can make some momentum, and it's the South Africans that came in from the wrong direction, and they've been penalized. Otto, it's offside rather.
No, going off their feet.
Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous. The South Africans 5.5 meters out, to be overly pedantic. And what do? They give the ball away, and Ducher is going to clear this from her own 7 meters.
Yeah, it was mistakes creeping in once again, like we saw in the start, at the start of the first half. It's now 8 penalties each conceded, but most of those for South Africa within the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. And now Spain will clear their lines, setting the line out on the far side of the field.
Yeah, it's a quality performance here from the South Africans. Just from that line out, it was tipped back to the the Spanish side, but Ntoyanto was told she had jumped the gun there, and so the subsequent penalties kicked out into touch. 42.5 minutes. Right, Springboks now with the throw. Gwala looking for her jumper. Does she find Lerato? She doesn't. She finds Mkari. Writes Mkari, immediately driving it away to the back of the mall. South Africa have some forward momentum here, but they might run into some Spanish jerseys here. Ball being used once, and now eventually the ruck is formed. Tose to Libby Janssen van Rensburg. Great bit of work there to get it off to Azesa Hele, who manages to break through a couple of tackles. Spanish pouring numbers into the ruck, but there was what looked like could be a knock on, and it's a bit of ugly rugby. It was a bit of bing bong as everybody tried to get their hands on it, not able to secure and it was a knock-on by Nadine Rus, the number 15, right in the corner. And twice now, to South Africa squandering an opportunity to go over the whitewash.
Yeah, it was a good option there by Libby Jansen van Rensburg, getting the ball from the ruck, and Nadine Rus with an open try line in front of her. It was just too high. The pass was too high. Good idea there, but not quite the execution. And if Nadine Rus had managed to gather that ball, she would have walked in on the near side of the field. The Springboks now playing from left to right in the second half. And it's now 9. Yep.
Massive Springboks. Oh goodness me! Now hold on. What's happened there? She's fed it, has Diaz. It's not been hooked, and Torse tried to nick it out the scrum. I mean, so
the referee saying that the ball has left the scrum through the mouth of the scrum, through the where it gets put in. So that is so that is a reset scrum, and Spain will still have the put in.
Yeah,
4 minutes gone in the second half. 44 minutes in the match has passed. 20 points to 0. South Africa lead.
Let's try this once again now. Diaz again with the feet. Better from her this time. Pops out at the back. And immediately Torse is on the back of Lourdes Almeida, having to fight her way out of that one. But Spain retaining the ball. Will they set up here for a box kick or a pocket kick? They don't. They take it into contact, and then it's given to the number 12, Leah Duché, who's kind of in a fly-half position. Not so much work there for Inchausti. You wonder why is she not in that number 10 position? Also, she's kicking everything, and not the one who's in the number 10 jersey.
Yeah, that I noticed that as well. Interesting to see the Spanish switching their first receiver to 12.
Turnover ball now by the Spanish at the line out there. Carmen Rodera doing all the hard work there, and then Castellucci with the ball. Ball goes out wide. She's got a bit of space. She looks to her right, looks to her left. Marta Carmona looking for somebody to pass to. It bounces off a number of green and red jerseys, but in the end, it goes out into touch. Referee from Italy, the Clara Munarini, saying it was a knock-on first by the Springboks, so it'll be a Spanish feed to the scrum. Another scrum early on here, and Otto, the handling errors have been of concern for both sides in this game.
Yes, the Spanish on this occasion trying some expansive rugby, and the number 14, Marta Carmona, almost getting around the Springbok defenders. They're trying to pass the ball back on the inside, and just a bunch of fumbles there, which means that Spain will have to put in to the scrum on the halfway line, right on the far side of the field, 5 meters in.
Diaz readying her pack. She does now, and it's a great feed, but the scrum is immediately collapsed. Referee saying, play on. Ball going through the hands. Inchausti now looking for the indomitable Leah Duché. She breaks one tackle, but isn't able to break the second one from Ayanda Malinga. South Africa with a great bit of ruck work and turned over, and then it's knocked on. Spanish advantage now. Is she able to break over the halfway line? She is indeed. Diaz looking to go perhaps with somebody else. There's a 1-2. You have it. No, you have it. Now in the middle of the park. Great handoff there from Ana Puig as Spain managed to retain the ball. Can they look for options left and right? They can't. It's held up. Malinga, like a true forward. What a hammer that was by number 8, Azesa Hele. Absolutely smashing things, turning over. It bobbled out, and Spain once again have the ball. It's typical unconventional rugby here by both sides. Able to keep the possession there after knocked backwards are the Spanish. Breakaway now, opportunity for Puig. Can she find some space? She's brought down by a combination of Malinga and Rus. Can Rus get out of this to protect the backfield? Thought now by Diaz. Inchoista, hammered tackle, and South Africa have the ball. I wonder if the referee is going to blow the whistle. She is, because it is Number who can't get away there. I think she's knocked it on there. 47 minutes gone. It's 20 points to 0 for South Africa.
Yeah, really back to that ding-dong battle we saw during large periods of the first half. 48 minutes gone in the match, 20 points to 0. South Africa leads Spain. And just error-ridden as the Spanish try to play a more expansive game, trying to get away from these heavy tackles that they're suffering at the hands of the Springbok ladies. and every time the Springbok ladies get the ball back, there is a pass that doesn't go to hand, not quite accurate and clinical enough from both these teams so far. But we saw the quality of rugby increasing as the game went on in the first half, so hopefully we will see the same in the second half here, and it's been very good performance, especially from the South African number 12 and 13, Kawe and Mpupa. And so if you've just joined us, where the hell have you been? 48 minutes gone in this match.
Jubain Damans saying, Boka, Ziviadi Lazaridi is saying, minutes, how many minutes? Well, 48 minutes and 32 seconds have been gone. South African feed now. Right, here we go. Good bit of work. Stumble in the middle of the park from Kawe. She's got to find her feet once again. Manages to basically bulldoze half of the Spanish side. Tose now looking for Libby Janssen van Rensburg. Mpupa with a cross kick across the field into some vacant space. It is a stupendous kick there from Mpupa. Otto, that's awareness that you can't buy in the shop. Great bit of work there.
Yeah, the left wing for Spain up into the attack as we see a replay of Kawe doing some excellent work there to put the ball down, pick it back up, and then break some more Spanish bodies as she just bulldozes forward, and South Africa Spain will have to put into the line out just inside their own 10-meter line.
Castro, the new, that one sliced away off Duche's body. It's going to be a knock forward by the Springboks. So Duche now again having the ball with Dinchosti in support. It's going to be an interesting way to see, will the Spanish women manage to get out of jail here? They're under pressure because they are certainly feeling out their spacing here. Opportunity now for the Springboks to collect the ball. It's an unconvincing collection there by Ayanda Malenga. She's got Roos in support. Now Roos looking for some options. She finds Mpupa with Libby Janssen van Rensburg breaking away through the Spanish defense. Roos now on the charge over the 22-meter line. Tose gets the ball. It's knocked forward by Libby Janssen van Rensburg. It's a forward pass, rather, by the referee. Signaled by the referee. South Africa, how many chances, Otto? I mean, that seems like the third that they have made the error with, that they could have turned into a try.
Just a bit frantic from the Springbok backline, trying to force the pass, not really executing the drawn pass very well, but yes, they're creating the chances, creating those opportunities, and what we want to see now as South African fans is finishing off. So I would say, yes, that's the second try that's gone for the Springbok ladies in the second half. So far, 50 and a half minutes gone, so 30, just about 29 and a half minutes to play. South Africa will have to see if they can get the ball back from this scrum. There's some replacements on for South Africa in the front row. The hooker has been replaced.
Celine Boetes is now on the park. Yonela Ngolo. Interesting one. Right, now Spain picking up
from the far side. Yeah, the number 8 for Spain goes to the blind side, and the right wing goes down to the 10-meter line where she's ferociously tackled. And can South Africa get the ball back? Yes, they can. So Spain with the penalty conceded there. The hand's now in number 17's hand. She goes over the Spanish 10-meter line. The ball in the hands of powering herself forward. She's got support there. Tose is there. Mpupa with the ball. And she just needs to run straight. And she does that. She goes over the 22-meter line on the near side of the park. She's brought down into the hands of Van Rensburg, going back inside the field now. And isolated is the Springbok number 5, and it will be a penalty for holding on. Another relieving penalty there. No support for Katha Jacobs there as she went storming forward. It was brought down almost in the middle of the park, and Ducher will have another clearing penalty kick. And the ball goes over the near side touchline. Spain will have to put in just about on their own 10-meter line. Kawe there, or Mpupa rather, with the handoff and then slipping as she falls into the tackle, and the subsequent break there by Katha Jacobs, leaving her exposed, and she had no choice but to hang on to that ball as the clear out from Babalwa Lacha was too late, and Spain have possession back. Oh, it's those are coach killers, man. These are the clinical execution that you expect from a national side. Of course, having spoken to some of the South African ladies rugby players at the Bulls in the past, they're all basically semi-professional. Hopefully with that new sponsor on board, that might change. But these ladies are playing their hearts out, and it's the first time I've sat down to watch a full match of the ladies playing rugby. It's not something that we see on our screens very often, so we're very happy that it is in fact being broadcast. There is a little bit of a break in play. I think there is some kind of treatment being given. So time is on, 52 minutes gone in the match, 20 points to 0, South Africa lead. The fans are piling into the stadium for the men's match at 5 o'clock. And the put in by Spain is good. The throw down to the number 9, not so much, but Spain managed to collect possession. Ball goes out to Intrusta, out to the number 22 in the back line now, and another Spanish lady running into the middle of the field. That is that is the number 13. Intrusta once again, and a thumping tackle by the number 11 on the Spanish lady just outside the 22. The ball bobbles back inside the 22 of Spain on the far side of the field. And there's some rucking being done by both teams, but the Spanish have what it looks to be a put into the scrum, as there's an injury now to a South African lady. Kawe. Is it Kawe? Oh no, and she's one of the stars of the show for South Africa so far. So
Simon Keller number absolutely ran over Blanca Ruiz. My word, she hit her with the force of a mining truck. Bang! Oy. Great technique there. Smashed her. Wow.
Yeah, she's been great on defense. As we just try and see where the injury came, Namba might be in trouble for that next tackle that we saw there, but we'll see if the TMO gets involved. It looked like she might have escaped there because the Spanish player was falling over as she went in for the tackle. So there is a scrum to Spain on the far side of the field, just inside the 10-meter line. And Chumisa Kawe will be replaced by number 22, Zenay Jordan, one of the more experienced players in the field. The Spanish scrum looking a lot better in the second half. Number 8 picks it up, goes to the blind side. Diaz to the right wing on the far side of the field. They get over their own 10-meter line, but the ball is held up now by the South African ladies. The call will be more, I would assume. There's a fight for the ball in the air. The ball is just visible above the players' heads, but Spain forcing their way over the halfway line now into the Springboks territory. And that will be a scrum to South Africa as the ball is stopped at last. And it's the number 14 for Spain, Marta Carmona, who went into contact there and was just held up by the South African defenders on the far side as they tried to go down the blind side of the scrum. And they made some yards, but they've lost possession. South Africa will have it put into the scrum, 5 meters in from the far side touchline and halfway between the 10-meter line and the halfway line on the Springbok side of the field. 54 and a half minutes gone, 20 points to 0. So the ball is ready to go into the scrum now. Once again, a steady scrum by the Spanish women. It's a world apart from what we saw in the first half, and it's illegal scrummaging this time by Spain as it's quickly taken by South Africa. Libby Janssen van Rensburg with the cross kick to the near side of the field, where it is picked up by the number 14 and into Nadine Roos's hands, who double steps, good steps, and goes racing down the near side touchline. She's over the try line. She runs around and dots the ball down. And that is the third try of the match for South Africa. 25 points to 0 in the 56th minute. What a move there. What a step by Nadine Roos.
Yeah, it was a great bit of work from her. You know, with Kawe going off the field, South Africa would have thought that their ability to really make effort would have struggled, but it was intelligent work there by Libby Janssen van Rensburg to find Ayanda Malinga out on the right wing, and all she had to do was hand it off to Roos. Goose-stepped one, beat another, and all she needed to do was dot the ball. Easy conversion for Libby Janssen van Rensburg. Sidestep, hand off. No, you sit down. This is not your mother's house. This is mine. Great bit of work.
And the cross-field, cross-cover defense coming through from Marta Carmona, the number 14 for Spain, but Libby Janssen van Rensburg too quick around the outside. 56 minutes gone now, and Janssen van Rensburg will line up the conversion. She's kicked 2 penalties, of course, and 2 conversions so far. So both the other tries converted, and that's what brought us up to the 20-point mark before that score. And Janssen van Rensburg neatly slots this one. Very easy kicking motion. 27 points to 0 now to South Africa, and there is only about 34 minutes left to play. A great cross kick there from Libby Janssen van Rensburg into the hands of Ayanda Malinga, the right wing, and then around the outside came Nadine Roos with the speed and the finishing, and giving Libby Janssen van Rensburg an easier kick by running in almost to the right-hand upright as the Springboks play left to right. So, Duchère with the kickoff to the near side of the field, and it bounces into the hands of the Spanish players, but they're right up against the near side touchline, just inside the Springbok 10-meter line. The ball goes to the middle of the field now, carried up by the number 16 replacement hooker. Tackle made, and the ball bobbles out, collected by the Springbok ladies, immediately tackled though, but the ruck is good here for South Africa, and Tose with the ball out to one of the forwards there, the replacement hooker, number 16, Rosaline Buertes. The ruck is set inside the 10-meter line of the Springboks. The ball goes back to one of the Springbok ladies, who kicks the ball downfield. The ball bounces awkwardly for Spain. Malinga is there in attendance, the right wing, and the ruck is set 50 meters inside the Spanish half, and the ball is stolen by the Springboks. The ruck is now on the 10-meter line of Spain, 50 meters in from the near side field. Tose out to the number 3, Mabalwa Lacha, who bulldozes forward. The ball comes back out to Tose into the hands of Namba now on the left wing over the 22, and she's brought down just about inside the field of play, with Nadine Roos getting support there. The ball goes out to the back line. Once again, Lacha storming forward back onto the 22 of Spain. The ball goes into the blind side to Nadine Roos, into the hands of Namba, who tries to step, breaks through one tackle. The second tackle is made, but she's not over the far side try line. The ball comes back in field. The Springbok ladies trying to find space. Spain defending for all their worth behind the game line, and the ball is available once again for Tose, but the referee says that was holding on by the Springbok ladies just outside the 22 of Spain. And good work once again at the breakdown by Spain, this time by the number 20, Alba Capel, who wins the penalty for Spain. And Duchère, who has taken over the kicking duties from Bueso and Chausti, will send the penalty kick out to the far side, but it's not out. Collected by number 16, Buertes for South Africa, and the ruck is set 5 meters in from the far side touchline, and there's a penalty to South Africa for Spain going off their feet into the ruck there, and it is 60 minutes gone, just about 27 points to 0, and the next 10 minutes will be the dulcet tones of Coach David Midgley.
Thank you, Otto. Libby Janssen van Rensburg just punting this into touch. A couple of disciplinary issues coming here. Not clearing a penalty like that. You've got to make the most of your opportunity to gain territory and momentum in the game. There was a massive smile there from the Springbok number 10, Libby Janssen van Rensburg. Potgieter, Rumandi Potgieter, just her second test, comes in at scrum half to replace Unam Tose. Tose having an absolute screamer of a game. And key to the South African front foot ball here. Right, Buertes with the throw. She has some great support from Lerato Makua. Now the Springboks moving forward with momentum. Onward, onward, onward is the call from Potgieter. Right at the back there, South Africa have the penalty advantage. Potgieter now finding some space down the inside. Libby Janssen van Rensburg with a cross kick. Is there an opportunity for South Africa to pick it up? Just agonizingly bounces out. It was Ayanda Malenga who is lurking there like a trapdoor spider, ready to just pop out, steal it, and go over. There's no opportunity this time.
Yeah, with the penalty advantage there for collapsing the maul, Libby Janssen van Rensburg trying the cross kick that resulted in a Dean Roos's try a bit earlier in the second half. And this time the penalty will be to South Africa on the far side of the park, right on the 5-meter line, so they will set the line out once again.
Yeah, they're going to kick out for the corner here for the throw. And no surprise, South Africa not having as many challenges around the turnover ball as the Spanish. It was at 1 point 9 turnovers as Perez makes her way on the park for Alba Vinuesa. So change there. The empty bench now for the Spanish. So this team, if they're going to get some consolation points here, they're going to be the ones who are having to do it. Boertes looking for her jumper. She finds Raitsimkari. Back of the maul she goes, does Boertes. Looking to move. They go right, then they drive back in left. There's almost a certain try here, and South Africa have scored. Another 5 points, 32 points to 0, just over the hour mark, and the crowd is applauding. It's a quintessential hooker's try. Glorious stuff, and it's Boertes' first try in the green and gold.
What a great piece of maul play there by the Springbok ladies. 2 mauls in a row. The first one getting the penalty, the second one going infield, going back to the blind side, and Boertes just peeling around the blind side of that maul to score for South Africa. Beautiful.
Yeah,
and we have a comment here from Sam K. Mike saying, thank you guys for giving us the live commentation. We really appreciate it. You are the best. Please stick around for Springbok versus All Blacks. Yes, we will. We will be back on air at 5 o'clock South African time.
Absolutely. We will be with you for every single moment of that action. It's one that South Africa will definitely want to put away. 16 points the difference in that game, 26 points to 10. The Springbok women here putting on a masterclass against the side 3 places higher than them in the world rankings. Libby Janssen van Rensburg lines it up. Is she going to get this one? She hasn't missed yet today, but a difficult one near the touchline. She sticks it. It's through the posts, and South Africa have 34 points to no lead as they get over the 63rd and a half minute. But Otto took us through that. Any hooker worth their salt will have loved that one. Easy one, and immediately squashed by her teammates.
Yes, the celebration happening right there where she scored the try, not giving her a chance to get onto her feet. Piling onto the heap there, the South African players in jubilation. 34 points to 0, 64 minutes gone.
This one is hung high for Katha Jacobs to take the catch. Options left and right for Romandi Potgieter. She goes to a box kick high in the air. It's hanging. Who's going to get on the end of it? It bounces and just goes out. And so, did that go out in the full?
No, it hasn't.
So I don't think it's gone out in the full. Great bit of kicking there from Potgieter. And
did that ball in fact go out? It bounced infield and then it bounced infield again. So I'm not sure why they weren't allowed to play. Okay, there's some problem here. The referee's called them back.
Yeah, referee saying that in that instance it went out on the full. I thought it bounced infield, then out, then back in. So referee from Italy making sure. Good tap back there by the Spanish. Now the first time pass off the number 9 wasn't good enough, and so the ladies from the Mediterranean, the Iberian Peninsula, having to fight their way out of that one. There was a knock on there by the Springboks, and so there'll be a scrum, but Julia Castro got a bit lucky there as there was a small error from Springboks there, because taking that into contact, Anna Puig, and it was a hand there by one of the Springbok players in attempting a tackle there. 65 and a half minutes gone.
Yes, scrambling back went Spain, but they have possession now in the middle of the field, just inside the Springbok half. The scrum is set, and the handling error is creeping up now for South Africa, but I think that's just because they're having more possession and they're a bit frantic when they have ball in hand.
Huge scrum from the Leonas. Now ball going through the hand, and a bit of a handling error there means that the number 14 on the right-hand side, Marta Carmona, having to cut back inside to try and find some space. South Africa not releasing the tackler, and it's a tap and go immediately. Good bit of work there by the Spanish to get some forward momentum. They get into the South African half, right at the number 8 position. The number 8 jersey, Lourdes Almeida, getting on that ball. Spain trying to kick through a gap there. There's not going to be that gap for them. And so now Malinga has some front foot ball. She gets through one tackle, breaks through another. She's on her way to the try line. There's nobody home. Alenda Malinga for her second try of the day. It's under the post. And South Africa are riding high. 39 points to 0, 67 minutes. Wow, oh wow. She just found a half gap and stormed to the try line. Great bit of work from Malinga.
Yeah, that was great defensive play there by the Springboks, forcing the kick. The kick went straight down the throat of Malinga, and then 2 missed tackles by the Spanish, and Malinga evading them with some good footwork and racing through as a winger should to finish the try off under the posts. Great stuff from the Springbok women.
Dominating. Lelo George was asking for the Boks to double that 20 points, and it is going to be here as Libby Janse van Rensburg eyes up the upright posts. Is she going to get it? Sam K. Mike saying, yes, go girls, go. She slots it. It's too easy. South Africa have 41 points on the board, and Otto Simon, there's still 13 minutes left in this game. This is a masterclass in Test match women's rugby.
Yes, we were hoping to see the Springbok ladies, gaining some confidence in beating Japan, who are also higher than they are on the world rankings, and going and doing it in Japan, coming back home and absolutely demolishing Spain today. And that's a blown kiss there from the right winger Ayanda Malinga after scoring that try.
Number of fans now making their way into the park. It wasn't it was rather a sparse crowd when this game got underway. And to be honest with you, Otto, I think some of these fans have missed out on a golden opportunity to watch a fantastic Bok performance. They will see one almost certainly later, but boy, oh boy, is this a game that any rugby fan with the green and gold on will be happy with.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Rugby saved me, and that's what somebody has got their crowd in the crowd. They've got a sign that says "Rugby saved me." People some dancing along in the crowd as well, sporting their green and gold.
Rugby saved me from being a porn star. Now I'm just a hooker, said that lady's poster.
I'm surprised her poster.
Nice one. I just managed to catch it. Yeah. Absolutely. So we have a little bit of a break in play now after that conversion. 41 points to 0.
Right.
Just a little bit more than...
Started once again.
Here we go.
Jacobs with a catch just in front of her own 22. Gets some forward momentum, getting over the gain line. Now, can South Africa put more misery on the Spanish? Drop back now, and it's thumped high into the air. Caught, not going out there, so an interesting one as the Spanish look to get the change in fortunes for them as Duché hammers her way through to the halfway line. Castro looking for options right and left. She goes to the right, finds Ana Puig, and then Lourdes Almeida. Spanish ladies got the overlap on the outside, but they're running out of space. A tap and go there from Marta Carmona. There's nobody home. Nadine Roos is the fullback and not able to clean things up. Nevertheless, South Africa maintained possession and thumped this one into touch with a great kick there by the number 22 from the Springboks, Zane Jordan. 31 tests, 79 points. She's no foreigner to Test rugby, but this probably will be one of her best, if not her best, performances as a team.
Yeah, 69 minutes gone now. South Africa kicking 14 times out of hand as opposed to Spain's 9. Spain rather being forced to kick as opposed to choosing to.
Yeah, quick throw there as we head up to the final minute prior to 10 minutes. South Africa collecting a penalty there. Great bit of work there on the ground. And it's number 6, Sizopila Solonzi, who's been relatively quiet, but nevertheless making it count when it was needed to. So, Libby Janssen van Rensburg, as Otto Simon takes us home, is going to kick this one into touch.
Thank you, Coach Dave. The penalty just inside the 10-meter line of South Africa on the far side of the field. And Janssen van Rensburg not finding touch there, collected by the number 14, Carbona for Spain. And the ruck is set about 10 meters in from the far side. They go down the blind side, but number 7 is tackled there for Spain. Ball comes out once again to the middle of the park, just outside the 22 of Spain. South Africa ladies going into the ruck there, trying to fetch that ball, but the referee calls them off. Ducher gets the ball on her 22. She sends this one sailing down the pitch, finds some open space, but Jordan is there. Number 23, is there. Chuma Kawe, the other Kawe in the team, she goes forward to the halfway line, and Potgieter is there at the back of the ruck. Seems to be an indication of an advantage for South Africa as number 19 goes crashing over the halfway line. And the ball is presented to Potgieter once again. And the forwards now through Jacobs goes over the halfway line. And there's a penalty to South Africa, not rolling away. Spain, Potgieter thinks of a quick tap and go, but there is an injury to a South African player there on the far side. 9 minutes to play, 41 points to 0. South Africa leads Spain in Johannesburg. Libby Janssen van Rensburg with another opportunity. This time she needs to find touch, and she will do so hopefully now, as the ball will land on the 22-meter line, but the line out will be set about 6 or 7 meters outside the Spanish 22 with 8 and 3/4 minutes now to play. It looks like the game is in the bag for South Africa. Can Spain fight back here and give their fans something to cheer about? They've had almost no chances. I can't remember a single try-scoring opportunity. They've spent a little bit of time camped on the South African goal line for a while, but didn't manage to convert that to points. The line out goes out Potgieter now. Jordan in the first receiver position sends the ball out to Mpupa, I think. Potgieter once again into the hands of Zane Jordan, who sends it to Kawe. Back to Jordan off the ground as Jordan goes crashing through, almost beating the tackle there through the half gap. Potgieter out to the middle of the park. It's collected by one of the forwards there, pumping the legs, driving forward. Potgieter once again out to the number 17, who loops around to Libby Janssen van Rensburg, out to Nadine Roos on the far side, back to van Rensburg, but that was a forward pass, another forward pass by Libby Janssen van Rensburg, and it will be a scrum to Spain on the far side of the field, just inside their own 10-meter line. 72 minutes gone.
Yeah,
that was a bad mistake once again by Libby Janssen van Rensburg.
That's the problem. If she'd thrown it directly to Nadine Roos, it wouldn't have been a problem, but van Rensburg with the lead pass there. Yes,
it's good to search for those flat passes to try and put the defense under pressure, but the referee right in line with play there. So the number 21 for Spain, Julia Castro, will put the ball into the scrum for Spain, who have steadily improved their scrummaging. This time it's a steady defense by the Springboks. The ball is available as it collapses. Does the scrum? It goes down the middle of the park, down the back line, where it looks like Ducher now is robbed of the ball by one of the South Africans, who then falls down. It was Namba who falls down and then collects the ball while on the ground, and she's penalized. 7 minutes to go. Spain, through Ducher with the penalty kick to the near side of the field, will have the line out, and it would be just about on the South African 10-meter line. So Naba goes in for the tackle. She manages to dislodge the ball. She knocks it on, and then she goes crawling after it, and you're not allowed to do that at all in rugby. As soon as your knee touches the ground, you're out of play. Spain with the throw-in, nice tap down to Castro. out to Intrista. Down the back line it goes now. And Spain make it almost to the Springbok 10-meter line. To the far side of the field they go with the Spanish backline players trying to find the gaps 2 meters outside the Springbok 10-meter line. And now the pass goes down to the ground, but it's recollected by Spain there. Castro out to the midfield where it is now knocked on by the number 14 as the first receiver. And it will be a scrum to South Africa. Just inside the half of the South African ladies. Awkward looking pass, but an international rugby player will be expected to catch that. And that is the 12th handling error for Spain, with 16 handling errors coming from South Africa. The scrum is right in the middle of the field, just inside the Springbok half. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. 41 points to 0. South Africa leads Spain. Still no sign of Spain scoring points.
No, not at all.
And injury break.
Yeah, some treatment for one of the players and some comments as well. Donovan Hadidi was saying, what time? Well, it's 74:44. Sam K. Mike saying, I wish Spain can give Springboks some challenge. Just one try for their pride. And Ntsepo Matlakala asking, what is the score? Well, the score is on the screen. That's the great thing, is that we have 41 points to 0 for the Springboks. But Otto, what do you think has been the success for the Springbok ladies this afternoon?
Sam K. Mike saying, wow, glad to see you guys trying to pronounce SA team names. Yes, we are trying. We're probably not doing such a good job, but we are trying.
We'll smash it this evening. Don't worry about that. That we've got covered.
So, play has resumed. Just repeat the question there, Dave. I was reading that comment while you were talking.
Mine's gone blank.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so...
left in this game. You will see. Well, I hope so, Carl.
Potgieter with the feed now, getting ready.
When you have a chance.
Just inside the Springbok half. Rumandi Potgieter with the put-in, and she gets the ball at the back of the scrum out to Jordan, who kicks to the near side of the field, and the ball bounces safely, and will it go over the touchline? No, Desher is there with the clearing kick, but she's not going to find a whole lot of space there, as she was under pressure, swiveled around and kicked it out on the near side of the field, just inside the Spain 22. 4 minutes to play.
I suppose the most glaring stat or two is 20 tackles as opposed to 3 missed. So the Spanish missed 20 tackles, and I think that's where the ability to turn 1 becomes 2, and that's where the game shifts completely.
And Burtis with the put-in, the jumper is missed, but it's the number 17, Ngolo, who gets the ball. Potgieter at the back of the ruck to Jordan, who goes to Janssen van Rensburg, who goes to the number 20, Dunke, into the line. Potgieter with the ball in the middle of the park, goes to the far side. Jordan out to Namba, out to Kawe, and she goes over the 5-meter line where she's tackled. Namba protecting the ball. Russ also protecting the ball there in support. Potgieter out to the forwards they go now. Jacobs back onto the 5-meter line, and Spain having to spoil the possession there, slowing it down successfully. Potgieter out to Jordan, out to the middle of the park to the number 6 for South Africa, who slips one tackle and it's brought down. Potgieter into the middle of the park. Jordan, Janssen van Rensburg out to the back line, and Burtis on the near side of the field couldn't gather. The ball goes over the near side touchline, and 3 minutes now left in the match.
Yeah,
but there was a problem for Spain. There was a penalty for against Spain on the far side, just to the left of the left-hand uprights.
Offside.
And offside. Okay, so Libby Janssen van Rensburg telling the Italian referee that she will go for goal, and Clara Munarini signals the same. So, only 2.5 minutes left in the match, and the Springbok ladies not wanting to chance another try. They're going to go for the goal, and that is the end of the match as a contest. Well, the match has been over as a contest for the last 10 minutes or so, I would say, 10, 15 minutes. with Spain unable to score and not even looking like they could come close to scoring. And so this penalty kick is almost straight in front, just to the left of the left-hand upright, as Libby van Jansen van Rensburg lines up this kick. And the Spanish women charge forward, but they're not allowed to do that when it's a penalty kick. Nevertheless, Libby Jansen van Rensburg slots the kick through, 44 points to 0 to the South African ladies.
What a game for Springbok women. And Otto, I mean, cast your mind back. 2019, these ladies would have played each other in dispatch, which, as we see the game get underway.
Yeah, the kick is not collected by the Springboks. It is, however, collected by Spain, who go rumbling up to the 22. And the ball goes out to the far side of the park now into the hands of Carmona, who crosses the 22-meter line of South Africa, but she's bundled into touch on the far side of the field. 1 minute left to play. South Africa will have the line out put in about 15 meters out from their own try line. Carmona has been one of the stars for Spain. She has tried her very best. Every time she's had the ball in hand, she made significant meters. And, quite a turnaround from 2019, when South Africa were heavily beaten, 29 points to 12, as Spain manages to steal the line out back. They've got possession on the far side of the field. The ball is secured now. Pick and go here by the number 16, Del Castillo. And it is the replacement scrum half, Castro, who sends the ball into the hands of number 7, Calvo. And they're edging forward now, getting closer to the 5-meter line. Driving up the middle of the Springbok defense are the Spanish ladies. Puig, with the number 4 on her back, goes into contact, and she's held up a little bit, but now she goes to ground. Castro going to the far side of the field, and it's a rumbling run by one of the forwards there up to the 5-meter line. Castro to the far side, to the same Carmona, who finishes on the far side of the field, just inside the field of play. Spain are on the board as time is up. That will be the final move of the game, the conversion kick, but Spain have their try, and something for their fans to cheer about.
Absolutely. It was a textbook effort there from the Spanish ladies, making sure they used the overlap. The timing of that final pass was crucial, and Carmona finally gets reward, and her teammates, you can see the small consolatory relief on their faces. 44 points to 5. The conversion to come, it's going to be a tough one because it's going to be right up against that touchline at the 22-meter line. And so will Duché be able to slot it over? We will wait and see. It's her first kick at poles this afternoon as well, Archie. Which is, to be starved of opportunities to kick at goal is almost an anomaly for anyone who is a goal kicker for their side.
She lines up the ball, strikes it now. It goes low through the air, but it's just out to the left, and that is the end of the match. 44 points to 5. And sorry to Carl Verma, who says need for over 42 points for my bet. So that hopefully you didn't wager too much there, Carl. Great commentary, you guys. Love it, he says. Thank you very much, Carl, for that. And Lelo George says, yes, girls, raise the curtain. Later it's the guys. Indeed, yes, at 5 o'clock South African time, which is 2 hours and 10 minutes from now. We will be back here on One World Sports Radio with the game between New Zealand and the Springbok men. And Ria Weideman says, come on, ladies, you rock. And we'll leave that one up there as we remind you that you must please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. One World Sports Radio, One World SR on Twitter. And you can tweet us during the match. We don't have a lot of opportunity to talk to our listeners. But we do the best we can. And as I mentioned, we'll be back in 2 hours and 10 minutes for the men's match. And then patreon.com/OneWorldSR. There are some of you who are donating to our cause. so far. So thank you very much for that, and please support us so that we can get to the games and pay for the rights and get the word out there. We do this for free, but we hope not to be doing it for free for much longer. So thank you so much for all your support. Coach Dave?
Yeah, 5 points to 1, 5 tries to 1 rather, was the difference between the South African women and the Leonas from Spain. Fantastic bit of work from the Springbok ladies, and like Otto said, don't go anywhere too far. Start the braai now. Make sure 5 o'clock you are back in front of your screens. Join us as we bring you round 2 of the Castle Lugger Rugby Championship. From myself, Coach Dave, Otto Simon, we'll see you at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Bye-bye.